Hello everybody and welcome to Going for Goldbridge. It's another episode and we've got loads of great questions to get through. As per usual, look forward to this every Tuesday. So smash a like, get involved and make sure you subscribe. Let's start off then. I was on the True Geordie show at the weekend. I don't like to do these shows about football, but a bit of a fallout from that. We were talking about Manchester City. We both said that it's immoral and not nice that they could win a quadruple with all the money that they've spent. Boo-hoo, we're salty. Boo-hoo, Man City fans are calling True Geordie fat and me a nonce. Get some new material, people. And also, can I just say, the only thing that irritates me about people calling me a Nottingham Forest fan, right, is that you can't spell the word fucking Forest. Everybody says Goldbridge. Well, no, Goldbridge is a Forest fan. And they spell it double R. Forrest. For fuck's sake, is this what's happening with people? Learn to bloody spell. Forest with trees. Forest. That's it. Craig Forrest. Forrest. Nearly spelt it wrong myself there. But seriously, you don't spell Forest with two R's unless it's somebody's bloody name. It's really, really that simple. And as for these people who put out these tweets saying, oh, it's well known Goldbridge's a Forest fan. Well known by who? I fucking don't know it. So how the hell do you lot know it? But I digress. Let's talk about this. Look, the reality is football, life, it's about opinion unless it's illegal. And it's certainly not illegal to say that Manchester City and the way they've done their buying success is wrong. It is wrong. £1.3 billion in a decade. And all I was saying is that I don't like the fact that my game that I love, that I've been brought up loving, is basically being prostituted in many ways because you can just buy it. You can buy the league, you can buy the Champions League, you can buy a quadruple by the looks of it at the moment. I don't like that. And for everybody who says, well, Manchester United do that, sit down, you're being really, really thick. Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal to a certain extent. These are clubs that have got massive fan bases and make lots of money from those fan bases. There's nothing immoral about that. If you've got millions of fans who buy season ticket shirts, you're going to make lots of money. If you've got loads of fans, you're going to get sponsors who want to give you loads of money to put their sponsors in front of the eyes of your fan base. Yes, you're going to spend money. Yes, you're very, very rich, but you're rich because of the fan base that you've got. Why does Manchester United and Liverpool have massive fan bases? Because over many, many years, they've built up fan bases. Why are Man City going to have a fan base? Because they're buying it. They're buying success. And actually, they don't have a fan base. What I'm saying is, I don't like that. I don't like it. It's my opinion. If you like it and you're a Man City fan, that's fine. I totally get why Man City fans get it. But as I was saying, my point remains that, yeah, if you play Football Manager or FIFA with the cheat code, the first 2 years are fine. You win everything. But then it isn't long before you start to think, this is not moral. This is not a fair playing ground. This is not right. We've just come in on cheat mode and we're beating everybody. And actually, we don't really know how good we are because we've just got better things than everybody else. It's like Formula One racing and having the very best car that nobody can really, really beat unless you break down. And as what Brian was saying, the True Geordie, I mean, basically he was saying that he wished they'd picked Newcastle, which again I totally get. I get that, you know. You wish, and that's my point as well. It could have been Newcastle, it could have been Villa, it could have been Everton. It was Man City because they came with a free ground from the Commonwealth Games. They got very, very lucky. Man City fans are very, very lucky. And, you know, if you're happy about it, that's fine. But don't come back at me saying, oh, it's exactly the same as Manchester United. Fuck off. It's not the same as Manchester United. Manchester United have spent a lot of money over the years, but nothing like what Man City have done in the last 10 years. And also, most of Manchester United's money is actually going out of the club and has been going out of the club for a very long time since the Glazers came in. But we've never, ever, ever spent the amount of money that Man City have got because of rich owners. And when we have spent money, it's been forecast that money will come back anyway because of the massive fan base that we've got. It's a divider. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But what I cannot understand is why people have to go personal on people. There was also a good question in here at some point, which we'll come back to that. But let's fly in. There's loads I want to talk about. Thogden says, where's your favourite place to go on holiday? I'd be surprised if you say Mallorca after what happened. Actually, Mallorca is my favourite place to go on holiday. I really like it. It's only a couple of hours away on a plane. The weather's normally quite good. I like it, despite the issues with threatening fruit sellers. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got. Have you finished the Madeleine McCann documentary? And if so, what's your view on Madeleine McCann's appearance as Liam_United? I haven't finished it yet, but And the funny thing is, I tweeted this last night. I was speaking to a mate about this, and he said, "Oh, I've watched the documentary. It was okay, but I got frustrated towards the end because it just left it wide open." And I was like, I just left it. I didn't bother saying anything. I thought, if you're coming out with a comment like that, you clearly you don't get the fact that, one, it's a documentary, and two, nobody knows where the fuck she is. Well, somebody obviously does, but that's the whole point. The documentary wasn't going to say, and here she is, come on down. It was never going to happen, unfortunately. Have you ever watched the Hunger Games? I got bored of it, Adam, to be honest with you. I did watch the first couple, then I got bored with it. Have you ever had a fight? And if so, what was the outcome, says Tom Whitten. I think we've all had a fight in our lives, haven't we? And I don't like violence. I don't like violence in the sense that someone walks up to somebody in the street and punches them or stuff like that. I don't like that, but I think we've all had fights, haven't we? I mean, whether it was at school or whatever. And I think, if I remember my last fight, I was 17, waiting at a bus stop. I'd been a bit gobby as per usual, and this guy turned up with, I say guy, he was around the same age as me, with some of his mates. I think he'd had a bit of cannabis or something to get himself brave. He threw a few punches. I threw one, and I was very, very lucky, and his legs just went, and I was like, that's it, I'm retiring. I'm retiring from fighting now. I threw one punch, his legs went, and he was dropped, and I was like, I don't even know how I did it, because I'd had 3 cans myself, because we were off into town, and he just fell, and I thought to myself, I'm never going to throw a punch like that again. I don't even know how I did it. I must have caught with his chin and jolted it, and the nerves go, and the legs go, and I was just like, that's great, and he was lying on the floor. The thing is, everyone was just like, "Ooh, let's not mess about with him for a couple of years," and that was fine. That was absolutely fine. I was the king of Cropple Bishop for a couple of years, which last time I checked had occupancy of about 300. So yeah, hard nut of Cropple Bishop, but not had a fight since. So 100% record. Talk about what brilliant timing that is from Danita. And actually, I had tweeted before that I love that, but yes, it's funny. It's all a bit of banter, isn't it? Let's have a look. Have you ever had a fight? Yeah. So okay, I just want to make sure that there was a few that I did want to sort of touch on. Never played GAA. What phone do you use? Samsung. I'm a creature of habits. I like things that I like. I like Samsung phones, so I've always been on Android. Burger or pizza? Definitely a burger man, me. Is True Geordie nice off camera, says Jack. I've actually liked that. You know what? You do meet a lot of people in this industry who, shall we say, are cunts, to be honest with you. And I don't like that word, but they are. And they'll come across in front of the camera as being really nice because it's always about being liked. But I never judge a book by its cover. I judge it when I meet people. I've always said that. And unless they're being a complete prick to me, and I've never met them, in which case you're going to get a bit back. That's the way you should be. But in all fairness, absolutely, from what I've met of it, from what I've seen of him a couple of times, really nice bloke, doing really, really well, and all the best, nice bloke. Is Theresa May the worst PM in UK history? Too political. Good drunken stories, says Daniel. I do have loads, but I find my drunken stories come out better when I've had a drink, and it's way too early to have a drink. Milk or tea bag in the cup first? Teabag. Any hobnob? Are hobnobs sexy? They're the king of biscuits, hobnobs. They are the king of biscuits. If you are a dunker, and by a dunker I mean if you dip your biscuits in the tea, I wish I had one here now to do an experiment, but the hobnob is the king of the biscuit. You can put it in a hot cup of tea and it will soak it for a good 3 seconds. You can take it there, you can stand and look at it and it will smile back at you, soaking up the tea, going, give me some bloody more. Whereas if you stick, like I said, I like malted milks. I don't like rich tea, but some biscuits, cookies, you can drop them in, and you realistically, if you snooze, you lose, because you'll take it out and it's breaking up in your tea. You've ruined your cup of tea and that. And if you hold it up, it'll break. But not a hobnob. It says up yours to tea. Soak it in, baby. Do you know who Jota is now? No, and I didn't know who he was at the weekend. Got no interest in him. If you met someone that's never played FIFA before and they ask you what scripting is, answer in one sentence. Basically, it's cheating by the game. There you go. Chinese food or Indian? I've answered this so many times. It's mood specific. England or Ireland, says Even Brady. You know what? I don't think I can answer that question. I love England because it's where I'm born, but I had 3 of the best years of my life in Ireland, so I've got a lot of love for Ireland. I don't really care what people think about that. I've got a lot of love for Ireland. And to be honest with you, I think if more people had love for England and Ireland, we'd have less issues. But I don't want to go political, but no, I love Ireland. Absolutely love Ireland. Southern Ireland, by the way. I'm talking Republic of Ireland here. If you had to go on a life-changing... I've got nothing against the North. Nothing against the North. Northern myself. I was having this argument with the wife yesterday. I was saying I'm Northern, and she says that the North... Midlands is not the North. It's Midlands. East Midlands is where you were born, and you live in the West Midlands. So you're not from the North. But I am from the North. I'm Northern. I feel I'm Northern. And I'll argue that with anybody. Basically, in England, anything north of Watford Gap is up north. There you go. Best place you've ever visited on holiday? Dynamo Hazard. I'm going to have to say Mallorca. I really do like it. Do you think... this is why I can't get a holiday in Mallorca this year, though. I can't get a holiday in Mallorca this year. Brexit's meant to be stopping people going abroad. Is it bollocks? I can't get a holiday in Mallorca. Everything's booked up. Favourite Marvel film? What a great question, because I haven't got one, because I've never watched one. Interesting fact, controversial opinion, and all that jazz. I've never watched a Marvel film. I was speaking to Geordie about it. He said, you'll love it. And to be honest, Infinity War sounded quite good at the end. But I said, where do you start? There's so many films. And he tried to write a list, and I was like, forget about it. Forget about it. I ain't got time for that. I haven't even got time to... I tell you what, I am swamped at the moment. Absolutely swamped. There is so much good TV. You know, you've got a couple of months after Christmas where it's crap and you've got to go through old box sets. I'm swamped. You've got Alan Partridge is out. Derry Girls is out. White Gold's out. Walking Dead, I've not caught up on that. Madeleine McCann documentary, I'm still not finished that. I've been watching the F1 documentary. You've got Game of Thrones on the horizon, so I'm trying to watch the last series just to get myself ahead of that. Absolutely swamped. And Made in Chelsea and Towie are back soon. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Absolutely well and truly swamped with stuff at the moment. So yeah, I've got no time for Marvel. Got no time for Marvel. The attacks on New Zealand, very, very sad, and we spoke about that. 100% Chelsea or AFTV? I don't support either. Mark, would you be interested in doing a show in the Maldives? And then he sent me pictures. I tell you what, that looks lovely. I could do a live stream from there, but I'd guarantee you're on dial-up and the Wi-Fi shit. So, but if you want to all expenses send me over, that would be good. Your favourite moment in sport, not football related, says Deadly Didier. I tell you what, that's a very, very good question. And there's probably better ones, but the one that springs to mind straight away for me, and there will be better ones if I thought it through, but I always go with what my initial sort of brain is, and it's not always right, was 2003. It was about 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning because of the timings. It was the Rugby World Cup. We were playing Australia in the final, and basically it was drop kick for a goal, and we were working it. Johnny Wilkinson, drop kick. It was exhilarating. It was a good moment. When you're going to do FIFA Strings again? Yeah, they're coming back this week. I'm just very busy, but I was hoping to do it today, but definitely back tomorrow. True Geordie or Lawrence? I think they go together very, very well. I think I see them as a combo, so you can't split it. It's a bit like PJ and Duncan. And show us what's in your pocket. I think in my pocket at the moment. Get back in there, you. I've got something else and a nice little handkerchief, which is silk, and it smells of. Imagine if it smells something rank. It smells of DT. Pink boots or purple boots? It's the pink boots, Marcus. If you're on an island with endless supply of just one dish to eat forever, what would it be? So simply, what's your favourite dish? I think a job lot of lasagna would go very, very well. Yeah, I quite like lasagna. I don't think I'd get bored of it, to be honest with you. Obviously, you would do. When did you start watching Formula 1 and who do you support? I don't really support any particular team. I just like watching Formula 1 when it's competitive. I probably started watching it in the early 90s because I remember people like Nigel Mansell and Damon Hill. And at that time, my favourite team would have been Williams. I think you do have a team when you first come to it. But now I just... I'd prefer Mercedes over Ferrari, let's put it that way. I've never really been massively into Ferrari, and I think it's just because the drivers that they've had, I probably haven't been my favourite driver. Thoughts on Belletti allegedly having a Rashford shirt under his top versus PSG, just to unveil it in front of the PSG fans if he'd scored? Sounds about right. I don't know who's going to win the Masters Golf Douglas because I don't watch it enough to know anything about it. I only ever watch the Ryder Cup. if you could emigrate to anywhere in the world that isn't Ireland, where would you go? Where would you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I'm intrigued by America because I've never been, which sounds amazing. I'm intrigued by Australia. I'm intrigued by Scandinavia. I'm intrigued by India as well. There's lots of places I've not been that I'd like to go. South America as well. I'd like to get about a bit. What you like about international breaks, says Linka, ignoring them, to be honest. I like the fact that on the United Stand we're still live at 8 o'clock every night. I like the fact that I'm still doing this stuff. So I just keep myself busy on the international break. Maybe do a little bit of DIY. But yeah, keep myself busy and try and forget that it is an international break because it's shit. The big thing with an international break is get to the first weekend. And then when you get to the first weekend, it's the weekend, so you can enjoy it. Maybe watch a film, have a drink, whatever. And then once that weekend's out of the way, you're building up to the next one anyway. It's this first week. I don't like international breaks. I mean, to be honest, this is a one-off one, isn't it? And in many ways, it's good to get a break for some of your players, but I hate it when you come back after the summer break and you have those international breaks. They are passion killers, they are. They really are. That's like you're in the bedroom, you're just about to get it on, and instead of putting a bit of sexy music on, they put the news on or something like that, and it's just a passion killer. Favourite thing about doing YouTube, says Jackie Brunn. Talking to you lot, to be honest. Talking to the interactivity, the community. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's great. That's the number one thing. Scribe or toffee pudding. If you had one more week to live, what would you do, says Adam. It's a tough question, that is, isn't it? It's a tough question, that is. I don't know. Spend it with the people that matter. Yeah, spend it with the people that you matter, doing the things that you like, but I don't like to think about that. I think, to be honest with you, I don't really want to talk about that. I have thought about that. We're going serious now. Would you rather have a week to live, or would you rather just it happened without you knowing, like, in your sleep, or, just something that's very, very quick? And I think that it sort of fits in with Afterlife. There's a lot of talk about this at the moment, and I think that you'd probably always think you're going to choose the week to go, but that week would be very, very hard. But I suppose you prepare everybody and you prepare yourself, whereas if you just go suddenly, then selfishly you're not going to know anything about it. I mean, this is the thing I always think about death, that death is hardest for the people you leave behind because they've got to deal with it. For you, you're dead. And I know it's scary to die. Of course it's scary to die. I think, I've got no problem with people who are scared of dying. I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of dying because of the people I'll leave behind. That's why I'm scared of dying. But I do also agree that life's a gift. And if you look at life as a gift, and you're only going to be here for a certain amount of time, enjoy the gift, because we're all going to die. It's a fact. But if you go suddenly, then it's hard for those people you leave behind because it's sudden shock, isn't it? Whereas for you, you're gone. You don't die and go, oh shit, that was so unlucky. I'm so bloody unlucky. I was literally walking down the road and then it's all over. That doesn't mean I got hit by a car, by the way. Could have been heart attack, anything. So yeah, there's no injustice after you're dead, depending on what you believe. Because if there's nothing, you don't know about it, and if it's heaven, it's meant to be great. So, if it's hell, you're in shit. But probably, I suppose selflessly, because I am a selfless person, I would take the week. But I do think that we need to. This could be being played when I'm dead in the future, by the way. I do think that we need to face up to death, and I think that's why I liked Afterlife so much, because I think when you start to understand that, yes, you're scared of it because you don't want to leave this great gift. That's understandable, but actually, we're all going to do that. We've all got. Nobody knows how long they've got, really, unless you've been told you've only got a few weeks to live. But actually, that's the whole point. I think facing up to death and accepting it. Yeah, it's going to be sad. Yeah, none of us really wants it to happen, but it is about the great gift that we get. I mean, I sometimes get sad when I think about something to remind me of the past, and it can be like, when I was at primary school and those hot summers playing football and all that lot, or your first girlfriend or boyfriend, or girlfriend and boyfriend. You might have been lucky, you might have been curious. But all these things that you have, and maybe you get to your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 20s, and you look back and you go, oh, that's sad. But you shouldn't be sad, because when you're looking back on those good things, you had those. That's the gift. Everything that's good happened is good. And I always think, when I was in my early 20s, I used to look back at my teens and go, oh, that was the best time. Then you get into your 30s and you look back at your 20s, and as soon as you figure that out, that whatever age you are and you're looking back, in 10 years' time, you'll look back at the time you're looking back. So, like, if I'm this age now and I'm thinking, oh, my late 20s were great, they were great. In 10 years' time, I'll look back to now and go, that time was great. It's just about the memory. It's about the now. Your memories, you never go back anyway. If you enjoyed it at the time, you enjoyed it at the time, and now is the time. So just enjoy the time you've got. And if you've made good memories, great. If you haven't made good memories yet, go and get them. That's how I feel about it. And I think that's the brilliance of that program, Afterlife, because it addresses something that maybe so many of us subliminally just try to avoid. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about my mortality. Who'd win a YouTuber Royal Rumble? I think I'd be quite good, Rammer, because I am quite deceptive. I think that, you know what, if you stuck a true Geordie in there, you stuck, some of the bigger guys in there. I'm not talking about fat. I'm talking about, they look big. As long as they didn't all target me, I think I could be all right, because I'm quite fast, I'm quite wiry, and I'm quite quick. And I think that what I would do is I'd attack the little people first, let the big people go at each other, and if I saw one of the big people losing a bit, I'd run over and help them shove them out. So I'd be the snide who maybe wins at the end. I'd be the one who goes over the top rope, pretends he's over the top rope, and then not touch the floor. That would be my tactic. That's how you survive. That's how you do it. Favourite Game of Thrones character? Yeah, I've done this before. Nike or Adidas, French connection. Oh, that reminds me, actually, everybody, just remind you, the Football Blogging Awards are coming up very, very soon. I've dropped links in the video description. Please, please, please do vote. You can do it on Twitter. All you got to do is copy and paste the little bit between the speech marks and tweet it. That's all you got to do, and you voted for me on Twitter. To vote for me on Instagram, click the link on Instagram. It will take you to the Football Blogging Awards page, yeah. Go to the picture of best social influencer, and all you got to do is put my @ which is @Goldbridge Mark, as a reply in there, and send it. And while you're at that, you can follow me @Goldbridge Mark. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. But please, please do, because as I said, if I was to win it, I think my winning speech is going to be something to behold. So yeah, but if you like me, just vote. You can vote on Twitter and Instagram, and I've dropped the information in the video description. So please do. It's only going to take you a couple of seconds to do it, and that would be really, really appreciated. I haven't watched White Gold. I've only watched the first episode. It was quite good, Asker. Best Transformer and Transformers film. I'm glad that's come up, because I was talking to this about last night on the United Stand. I did a video about, well, I didn't do a video, I sort of wandered off saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pochettino, it's like the choice between an obvious candidate, but then that's quite a nice candidate as well. And if you go with the obvious one, and then maybe you might wish you'd gone for that. And I remember going to a toy shop when I was a lot younger, and I had a choice between, well, I was meant to be buying He-Man, but then I saw She-Ra, and I got curious. I was about 7, and I was like, I definitely want He-Man, because that's what I'm here for, but that She-Ra, she's got good legs. There's something drawing me in. Probably it was the first sort of, at that age, it's, starting to like girls, I suppose. And I went with He-Man, but that night at home, I was like there playing with He-Man, and I thought, I wonder what it would be like to play with She-Ra. So my mate, when I'd finished the tweet, he sent me some pictures of, I don't know where he got them from. Not of She-Ra, nothing like that, but he sent me some pictures of the He-Man toys. Like, obviously from a toy shop in the 80s where you could buy He-Man toys. There's loads of these pictures. You get them like of Star Wars, the vintage stuff. And it makes you think, oh, again, we're wandering back to our childhood. Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, what a great time. So I was looking at the pictures of all these He-Man toys that you could buy. And I was like saying, I had that, I had Castle Grayskull, I had Snake Mountain, and he messaged me back and he went, yeah, well, the evolution of being a kid in the 80s, early 90s was Star Wars toys, then He-Man, and then you got Transformers. And I went, no, Transformers are shit. Transformers are for nonsense. No, I didn't say that, because that's my best mate. I said, no, I never had Transformers, I hated it. And I think impatience for me. I didn't really like the cartoons. I bought a Transformer for Christmas. It was Jazz, the sports car. And I played with it for about a minute. And I liked him as a car. I tried to turn him into a Transformer. And he looked like the cross between a car and a robot. He looked like some fucking twat, to be honest. I couldn't do it. And then my dad did it, and I was like, that's too hard, don't like it. Turn it back to the car and put it on the shelf, and I never used it again. And I said, don't ever buy me Transformers again, they're shit. And I was 8, and my dad went, fine, that's okay, I'm sorry. And that was it. But no, I didn't like Transformers. I didn't like them. I did like He-Man, I did like Star Wars. I did get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know what that was all about, because they're shit as well. But trying to think what else I bought. I like Mask Crusaders. They were brilliant. I loved Mask. I had loads of Mask. It's brilliant what you think. Look up Mask. Basically, they were shit, but they were brilliant. Rhino, the truck. And they had a Boulder Mountain, which was basically a petrol station. But the great thing about Mask is, it was a pimped up, better version of Transformers, because Mask, everything changed. Like the petrol station, Boulder Mountain, had a boulder at the top of the mountain and a petrol station. It was the base. But a flip of the button, the petrol station flips into loads of guns, and the boulder comes down, and there's a big shit fucking missile launcher on the top. It was brilliant. And also, it was great because it was humans who drove all these things, or drove, right? And basically, I remember there was this car that was like a Jeep, but the bonnet came up to like shield the windscreen, and then you pressed the button, and out the back it popped up, and there was like a man on a gun like that shooting. So it was less complicated Transformers. It was Transformers, but for simpletons, I suppose, and I loved it because it was great. But it had human beings driving it around. But it's obviously human beings can't turn into anything, so they just used to put a mask on. That's why it was called Mask. It was great. It was brilliant. I loved Mask. It was absolutely superb. I'm so glad that we've done this because it's reminded me of Mask. I'm going to go and Google Mask figures, and you're all going to do it. And I'm going to buy some stuff off eBay. I loved it. Rhino was great. I loved Mask. It was brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to end on a positive. But lots of good questions. Really, really enjoying it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge. Make sure you smash a like. I really enjoy this. And I could actually do it for an hour. Maybe we should think about doing it longer. Let me know your thoughts. But get into it. What's all this? This is sun. Lighting needs to changing here. It's an angel. An angel's come to see me, Gabriel. At last, into my 30s, and you've took this long to come to me, Goldbridge. What are we going to do? What's God got to tell me? Controversial. Some people don't agree. Don't cry. Anyway, they've gone now. There's still a little bit there. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you give us a vote on the Football Blogging Awards on Instagram, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, and you can also vote on Twitter. Just copy and paste the quotation marks and tweet that. That's all you've got to do. And then the Instagram, go to the Football Blogging Awards, go to Best Influencer, and just tag my name in the comments there at Goldbridge Mark, and follow me on there. But thanks everyone, really enjoyed it. Thanks for all your questions. Make sure you follow me on Twitter for the next time that you can put your questions in there. And brilliant, I really enjoyed that show. Lots of it. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.